Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Anime Club One Silent Podcast. I am your host, Isaiah, and I'm here with my co-host, yet again, Josh. What's going on, Josh?
Oh man, what's going on, everybody? I know this is a late night recording podcast, but man, I know me and Isaiah have been talking about this topic for a while now, ever since we were kids. It is going to be an all Naruto podcast for you guys. I'm excited, and Isaiah, I know you are excited as well. So you guys are in for a treat for tonight.
For sure, I think I've said this during the Black Clover podcast, but Naruto was my official first anime, and I've just fallen in love with it ever since. And I'm just very excited tonight because we're going to be talking about Naruto. We're talking about Naruto Shippuden. We may or may not talk about Boruto, but I would not count on it. But yeah, I'm just hyped to get this started.
Yeah, I mean, and this is not going to be the only Naruto podcast. Like, this is our first one that we're recording, and one of the things I really like what we have been doing so far. Like, we started with One Piece, then we did Black Clover last week. We're doing Naruto this week, so we will eventually get back to all those animes as well. But again, the reason why we call it the Anime Club is because we don't talk about just one anime. We talk about a bunch of animes. And I also know Isaiah's been adding applications. If you guys are all anime fans and want to come on and talk with us, I'm down. Noah's been on a couple times and he's really liked it. So I mean, hey, dude, let's build this club up, man.
Real quick, well, first of all, I agree. No Boruto, we're going to try not to. But yeah, if you haven't seen already, follow us on all socials. We're going to plug it in again at the end of the podcast. But if you're interested in coming to talk about anime with us, apply. Or if you want to just talk about reality TV, animation, anything, if you just have an idea of what you want to do, or you're interested in the slightest, just come and try out, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. But as you know what, Josh, let's just get started. So what's first in line for our Naruto talk today?
Yeah, so what I really wanted to get us starting with and talking about for our first topic, I wanted to ask you this simple question, like why was Naruto like your favorite anime as a kid? Because I know for me and you, we both felt the same way. And also, I just wanted to get a quick little summary of Naruto, and then we're gonna get into our main topic, which is we're gonna rank the Akatsuki. But before you get started, I got a cool little sound bit that I want everyone to hear. So I've been working on this before the podcast.
Let's hear it. I'm done. Anyone who's watched Naruto, you know what that means.
Oh yeah. And we're both sipping some drinks as we're ready. It's about to go down. So Isaiah, why was Naruto like one of your favorite animes growing up?
So I was one of those kids who I wasn't allowed to play video games when I was younger. So all I did was watch Cartoon Network. And when there was I think it was Fridays or Saturdays, when it wasn't Adult Swim, they had Toonami, and I was like, all right, let me check this out. And most people's first animes are like Dragon Ball and stuff like that, but I was like in Inuyasha, but I was like, Naruto was the first thing I saw, and I don't know why, but I just gravitated towards it, and it just entertained me so much. Just the idea of all these ninjas. Well, first of all, it's kind of interesting that the characters don't really act like the typical ninja with no emotions and all that. But anyway, we'll get into that. But I was really into the whole ninja concept and the jutsus, and everyone had their specific little techniques that they favored. And I think what really drew me in was the tuning exams arc, and the tuning exams arc was just so well done. Specifically the Rock Lee versus Gaara segment. I just fell in love with the show, and I thought that the way that they handled, giving all the characters attention and hype in part one, at least, I was so into it. So I mean, that's why I got into Naruto. But how about you, Josh?
Yeah, I honestly couldn't agree with you more. The tuning exam arc is arguably in my top 3 arcs of all anime. I was one of those kids. I wore the headband. I did Naruto runs. I remember at Lancashire, the elementary school I went to. Shout out to that school. Me and my classmates, we would all create squads, and I know I was always the Rock Lee squad. Rock Lee was my favorite character as a kid, just because again, like all he knew was taijutsu. Like there was no really, like he really didn't have any genjutsu, and him and versus Gaara fight has to be up there in terms of like one of the best fights in the entire anime series, especially with like everything that happened and how much like Rock Lee's favorite line. And there's actually this funny video. My coworker showed me this. Like these guys were doing a podcast as well, just like what we're doing, and they literally quoted the whole Rock Lee Gaara fight word for word, and like there was like tears shed and stuff. But yeah, like just like the overall impact Naruto had on my life as well. Like it really, again, it's just a great story how they built up all their characters. And I mean, even though Shippuden definitely, I didn't like how like it ended and stuff and how everything switched up. But like the way how they developed their villains as well, and the Akatsuki, like that has to be one of the best ways to like create like a villain group. You're seeing a lot of other animes take a little bit of what the Akatsuki and Naruto is and put it in their own animes. Like, I mean, Black Clover, I know like with the elves and stuff, like they had a little click going. I know even the Devils now, what's going on there. Like you're seeing a lot of other animes like the League of Villains in My Hero Academia. Like you're seeing a lot of other animes take what they've learned from the Katsuki that is Naruto. Like that's just it's so good in the way how they develop their characters and backstories and the Naruto and Sasuke feud. And now I will say though, I could not stand Sakura. I wanted, man, because they could have created her so much better.
You see, it's like Sakura has like a love-hate relationship with me, where it's like there's times where like she takes steps up and I'm like, all right, I'm starting to like Sakura a little bit. And then I don't know, she just kind of like falls into like this like damsel in distress almost role where she just needs Naruto to do something for her. She needs Sasuke to do something for her. And at first I used to be like, okay, I'm gonna just leave it alone. It's not a big deal. But then I saw how Black Clover handled characters like Noelle, and I'm like, all right, maybe let's hold Sakura accountable a little bit. Why is she not stepping up? And I know she did step up eventually in the war and everything, but it just, I don't know, like the way Kishimoto handled her character. She's not a favorable character amongst the fandom, and especially with me. I'm not the biggest Sakura fan.
Yeah, and we're gonna get into Sakura more later on this podcast, especially when we talk about Sasori, one of the Akatsuki members. I don't want to spoil it now, but because I mean Sakura had a really good fight against him. But like again, just like you said, like just the ups and downs were her. I will say, like I feel like the anime kind of did Sakura dirty, because like you see Hinata like and her character development, like who she became now, and then in the Boruto series as well, like she now is probably the strongest in her clan, and to remember that fight between her and Neji, and how Neji's like, well, if we all have a set destiny, and it just everything was just so great about Naruto. And that's one of the reasons why, like, as a kid, I really loved it. I would stay up, watch it on Toonami, and the Naruto.
I will say, and sorry to cut you off, but I think the place where Sakura lost me was actually in Shippuden, right? And it was the part where Sakura was trying to pretend that she was in love with Naruto to get him to not leave. And I was like, that's really whack. I'm like, why are you playing with my man's emotions? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it just, I don't know. Sakura, I'm not, sometimes, like I said, sometimes when she does her thing, like against Sasori in the war, it's stuff like that. Even when they kind of reincarnated like the vibe of the legendary Sani with Sasuke and Naruto when they all summon, their beasts and everything. I was like, all right, this is kind of cool, like, but it just like it was just a little too late. And Sakura really just that character, I can see why people don't like her as much. And I mean, it's unfortunate because I think I can say the same for like a lot of characters, right? Where most of the kids, I think since Naruto Part One was more about striving to beat all the odds, to show that hard work beats talent, because Sasuke was the embodiment of talent, Naruto was the embodiment of hard work. It was like, all right, if you try hard, you can do anything. Rock Lee was also a little symbol for that. But then you get to Shippuden, and it's like, oh, all you need is like an eye ability and a couple of bijus, and you can basically, no one else matters at that point. Rock Lee was completely irrelevant in Shippuden, where in Part One he was such a cornerstone. So it's the anyone that's not Naruto and Sasuke, it's hard. It's hard to be a fan of them the entire series. Sometimes you love them, sometimes you hate them. Like I think the only other person is like Shikamaru that I kept like my respect for the entire time. But yeah.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you with that. Again, like it went from I really liked how Naruto as a kid, you really got to see all the kids grow. Like I remember it was the Sasuke rescue arc, and you got this, everyone got their shine. Like Choji got his shine.
Mm-hmm.
Neji got his shine. Shikamaru got his shine. It was, and then even Rock Lee came back and did Drunken Fist. Like and Gara finally got his shine. So that's one of the things I really liked about Naruto as a kid. And then in Shippuden, it was more like you said, like gaining new abilities. And I mean, I know part of that is like now they're all teens. So like, and again, like the Akatsuki so powerful, like you're going to have to get new forms. But one thing I will say, I really liked what Shippuden did. I really love how they portrayed Killer Bee and a lot of like that whole tribe as well. And I really liked how I forget who, I think it's A. Yeah, like A, like, and how powerful A was. I was just like, dang, like that's one of the things I do really like about Shippuden. Also like Tsunade being like one of the first like OP female characters as well. You really got to see her. I know she had her moment in Naruto, but then also being the fifth Hokage,
Yeah,
maintaining that. So I mean, that's just some of the things I do really like about Naruto, and even like the tail beast too. Like I really like all the tail beasts as well. So
now one thing to talk to add on to your Tsunade thing, and I think this is why I'm comparing it Naruto with so many series, specifically Black Clover, since honestly, in my opinion, is like its predecessor, right? I think Naruto as a series does not handle women correctly, and I think Kishimoto, I feel like he doesn't know how to write girls. Like honestly, and I mean that's not like coming at him or anything. I just think that if you look at all the female characters that he's written, even like with the Akatsuki, right? The one girl, she is she has so much potential, but it's just like she's not really used to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I feel
Conan.
Conan, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because I like Conan. I think Conan had like a lot of potential. She almost. I mean, we'll get into that. I'm not going to dive too much into the specifics, but I just think that like if you look at like Ino and Sakura. I mean, Sakura improved, but Ino kind of stayed the same, right? 10-10, irrelevant. You look at Tamari, she got better, but like really, like Tamari didn't really do much. Hinata got shine, but I don't think Hinata ever won like a fight in the entire series. I could be wrong about that, but to my recollection, I don't remember ever seeing Hinata win a fight. Sakura, like I said, love-hate relationship. Sometimes she's good, sometimes she's bad. Tsunade, the Hokage, so you better hope that you're good. Tsunade, phenomenal character. I love her. But if we ever do like a Hokage ranking, low key, she might not be one of the highest people.
True.
So if you just look at just the female characters, Kishimoto, I think, just struggles writing girls. Like it, and it's plain and simple. So I mean, I think that is one of the weak points of the series. But you kind of got to give and take. So I mean, it's going to have its flaws. It's not perfect. I don't think any of the shows we ever cover are going to be perfect. But I think that's one of the weak points with Naruto.
Yeah, I agree. That was a very good point that you added. Like, definitely, like as you were explaining it, I was really thinking, like, dang, I was like, yeah, like that's definitely true. Like, I mean, like Sakura, I really couldn't stand her. I honestly like one of the girls. I know this is going a little bit off topic, but I forget what's the orange hair girl's name in Bleach.
Oh, Rangiku.
She
Oh,
is,
or Hime, or Hime.
yeah, whatever her name is. I can't stand her. All her only line is Ichigo-kun. Like the entire. So like, I mean that, and that's where I would put Sakura and a lot of the Naruto girl characters around that range where it's just like, I mean, just like you said, like they didn't really grow. I mean, it's like, I mean, Sakura is supposed to be like the main girl in Team 7, and she's had so many highs and lows, and I've never been a fan. I wanted her to just like stop thinking about Sasuke, stop thinking about boys and just kick ass.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what it comes down to it. So I mean,
Like they used her moment against Sasori, and then they were like, all right, we gave Sakura her moment. Bye bye. Like it's just like, they definitely mishandled her character. It sucks to see. But I mean, like I said, we're not going to talk about Boruto, but I like Sakura. I think Sakura is a step in the right direction. So hopefully, you know, we'll see better things when it comes to the female characters. But yeah.
yeah, dude, I are you ready to get started with ranking the Akatsuki or?
Why not? Yeah, sure. We got a lot of characters to rank. So we got it like usual, S to D. And then where are we doing with this question mark category here?
Yeah, so the question mark category is, well, because I didn't know like how the tier lists were going to be, so I know like we weren't really going to rank like Sasuke and his crew when they were part of the Akatsuki, just because like they were technically not there to like complete the mission. You know what I'm saying? It was sort of like Obito was trying to like trick them and stuff and try to get them to like. So I mean that's part of the question mark, and also like I know we'll get into his character, but Black Zetsu. Like at first I wanted to put him at the question mark category,
Okay.
and then like we can finish with him at the end or something, just because like out of all of them, I don't know where the heck he ranks in all this in all these tier lists. So
I'm excited.
yeah, dude, because I mean I know we talked about Black Zetsu before. Oh, well, it's just gonna be Zetsu because black and white. We'll just make him the same.
Well, we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it. So
Yeah.
like those are the rankings. I like it. I like S, A, B, C, D. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna start with this. I honestly think that all of the Akatsuki members, I don't think a single one is D rank. Just because like just because like the Akatsuki, like one of their weakest members is immortal. Like if you really think about it, like one of their weakest members is immortal.
Yeah.
So putting that into perspective, I'm like, I don't really see any as D tier.
Okay.
But we'll see as we go along and stuff.
Okay, that's fair. So I mean, the first one on the list is Deidre. For now, I'm gonna use this question mark as like a wave room so people know what the next one we're doing. Okay. So Deidre is the first one. So I'm gonna let you start it off. What's your thoughts on Deidre? You can talk about him for a little bit, and let me know where you would rank him.
Deidre is definitely interesting because, like him and because I don't know who the next one is, but Deidre, like he killed the Three Tails Jinchuriki. So like you got to put that in consideration. If you're and I know, and the Three Tails Jinchuriki is one of those like strong Jinchurikis. I know. I know. I'm sorry. I believe the Three Tails. He killed another Akatsuki member on his list that we'll talk about in like later. But like I mean, he also defeated Gaara as well. Now Gaara did get him in the arm. Like he could have he got him pretty good. And then like his fight against Sasuke kind of really wasn't his fault. It was sort of like when Luffy fought Enel. Like we all know Deidra's weakness is lightning. Like and what is Sasuke? Like pretty much light. Come on. Like that pretty much was not a favorable matchup for him. So I would, in terms of ranking, I might put him at top of B, low A, around that tier, just because like, you got to give him his props. Like he was able to defeat Gaara. And now I will also take in consideration though that Gaara definitely was trying to protect his village as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if they were able to fight one-on-one with Gaara not really worrying about protecting his village, I think that fight could have been a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
But also being able to kill the Three Tails Jinchuriki as well definitely puts him in discussion. And he had a very good fight against Sasuke. He held his own despite Sasuke having the favorable matchup. Like his clay stuff was not working on Sasuke. It just wasn't because Sasuke is all lightning. So
So you're saying like top B right now?
yeah, right now top of B, but I could make a case for him being the bottom of A.
See, I was saying because it really depends on where we're ranking these other characters like Itachi and Pain and stuff. Because honestly, first of all, when you talk about him beating Gaara, it's like we also got to remember Gaara is literally like a Hokage, so it's not like it's any easy feat. A Hokage is a big deal, and even with that, he had like you said, his Jinchuriki with him. So Deidre beat Hokage. First of all, you gotta think about that. He's relatively like Hokage level, but I mean, you can say that about a lot of these people. But Deidre is up there with that, right? His destructive capacity, obviously, like I think we've seen him do it in one of the dreams before. I don't know if we want to count that as canon or not, but he destroyed an entire village with like one of his bombs and one of the situations. He his his offense alone is really good. And I mean, it's unfortunate that he resolved to self-destruction to beat Sasuke. Well, he didn't even beat Sasuke, but to try to defeat Sasuke, it's kind of whack. But Deidre, even before he joined Akatsuki, I think he was one of the rogue ninja that was just like what was he? It was either he was just going around like terrorizing like villages and stuff and like killing people.
Yep.
So it's like Deidre, he's a savage. I agree with you. Like I want to put him in A, but I also don't know where we're going. I feel like we should put him top B, like you said, and then I can see us possibly putting him in A depending on where we put some of these other characters. But until we do that, I can't justify putting him A just yet. But I want to. Like I'm stopping myself from doing it. But I agree with you. We should put him B for now.
Yeah, now if you want, if you want to create like a higher category than S, I'm willing to do that. But if not, I understand.
Let's see how the rest of it looks out, and then if we feel like we need to by the end of it, then we'll do it.
Okay, cool.
All right. So next is Hidan. So Hidan, all right, so he's immortal, obviously, right? And the only way to quote unquote beat him is to decapitate him. Which in the fashion you have to do it like Shikamaru does. You have to literally tie the person up and then blow him up and put him in a hole, But I don't know. It's like, all right, so his ability is kind of crazy because if he stabs you, get the blood, he can literally stab himself or whatever, and then you get the damage. I think he does get damage as well, but he just doesn't care. So you'll get the damage. So I mean, that's something. But you can't kill him by like beheading him or anything because he can just put his body back. But there's a couple of issues with this. First of all, in order to do the ability, you have to stay in his blood circle that he creates. He needs enough time after getting the blood to even create the circle. Like, I don't know why Asuma, Shikamaru, and all that were just watching him do this instead of fighting him, but okay, whatever. And even if you did behead him, you also got to think about it. He wouldn't have had his head back on if Kakazu wasn't there to stitch it back on for him. So yeah, like his ability is kind of broken. I'm not gonna lie, because anyone who could just stab themselves and then you get the damage instead of them, it's kind of crazy. But you have to. A lot of specific things have to go on for this to be effective. Like one, if you're doing this like a 1v1 fight, like if you're fighting multiple people, you're not going to win.
Yeah.
If it's a 1v1, you can win, but you have to hope that the person isn't good in range. Like imagine if he was fighting like I'm not saying Tamari would do any better than these people, but with like a Tamari or someone who, or like a Sai or something, like just from a far distance, or a Shino, just like attack him from far, then you can't get the blood. I mean, he has the scythe and everything, but you can't get the blood. You still have to hope that like it's just too much. Like just the fact that he has to stay in this small circle for this to work is just like it's a lot. So I feel like if it were up to me, and this is there's not a lot of people on the board yet, so I'm not going to say D yet. So I'm going to say C. But with us adding more people, I feel like I could possibly see him at a D. But that's just me. What is your opinions?
Yeah, honestly, I couldn't agree with you more. If there's one Akatsuki member that I would put at D rank, it would be
Hidan.
yeah, Hidan. Yeah, my fault. Yeah, it would be Hidan, just because, again, like once you figure out his power, like he's done. Like, let's be honest. Like, Shikamaru Sensei, like, he was powerful, but he really, yeah, I don't want to like RIP to Asuma and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to like make fun, but like he really, he really wasn't like he was pretty strong, but like in my opinion, I felt like he really wasn't like that strong. I remember watching the anime and watching him fight. I'm like, I definitely feel like they could have made him a little bit more powerful. But like, and just like you said, like the fact that they just let him just like draw like the blood circle and stuff, I'm like, come on, dude. Like,
they just watched him. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, I know. Like, don't you know that like something's going on?
Yeah.
But yeah, Hidan. I mean, his power, like being immortal and stuff, is definitely like OP. Like the fact that he can stab himself anywhere and you feel the pain, and like again, like he can stab himself right in the heart. He'll be fine, but you're dead. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that consideration, like as of now, I would put him at low C. Mm-hmm. But like just like you said, as we put more characters, if there's one Akatsuki member that I would put at D rank, it is Hidan, because I don't think he's that smart. I think he gets too crazy. He just starts like stabbing himself and he gets too cocky. And that's one of the reasons why Shikamaru was able to defeat him. And Shikamaru pretty much like once he figured out like what his power was, he handled him pretty easily.
Oh yeah. With prep, anyone, I feel like a lot of people can beat him with prep.
Oh yeah. With prep, yeah, like he's nothing with prep. And just like you said, just like you made it perfect. Like, he would have died the first time if it wasn't for Kakazu's string.
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't for that, he would have died the first time, because the thing with him is if you cut his head off, as long as it doesn't get stitch packed in, you're okay. Like he's not coming back. Yeah. Now, yeah, so I would put him, I'm in agreement with you. He's definitely C rank, not even close to B, and arguably D rank, depending on where we rank the others. So
all right. So next is Itachi. I mean, like, do we really need to have a conversation about this? Like, I think Itachi is like a straight S rank. I always think, I mean, but even part one, Naruto, when literally I think it was Kurenai, she tries to do genjutsu on Hitachi. She catches herself. Or like Kakashi was like, close your eyes, he has the Sharingan. And then he's like, all right, I got a Sharingan, I can look at him with my one eye. And he's like, what are you doing? Like the way they handle Itachi, I think, it's a little broken. They give him they literally gave him the whole ability against when he was undead. We never heard of this before until Nen, but he had the ability to literally put you in the genjutsu that you are stuck in until you decide to morally change your ways. Like that's kind of like we've never heard of that before. That he's like, oh yeah, I have this crazy ability that you guys never heard of before, and I'm like, what the heck? But you know what? Okay, and then he has he has his Mangekyo. He has a little bit of everything. He honestly probably the strongest genjutsu user in the series. I don't think I'm wrong there, but Itachi, in my opinion, is a S tier. But what's your thoughts, Josh?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Itachi's definitely S tier. Now compared to like Madara and Obito and even like Nagato. I would put him at S tier, but I would put him towards like the back end of S tier, because what hurts Itachi, like as great as his genjutsu is and stuff, he doesn't really have a lot of stamina. And I also remember that as he was fighting Sasuke, he was going through his own heart condition as well. And he's had that heart illness for a while, and he's been fighting that heart illness for a while. That's part of the reason why Sasuke was able to defeat him. But that being said, though, like his offense, again, just like you said, he's one of the best genjutsu users of all time. And to this day, like in real life, like if I see crows, I get a little chill from time to time, just because of all the times Itachi was just like murking people with his genjutsu. And oh man, dude, and just his power and stuff. I know I forget what his red armor is. I forget what that move's called. It's not registering in my head, but yeah, that's like the absolute defense other than Sasuke's. And another thing is like he was able to like destroy Orochimaru like it was light work. Like pretty much like he was pretty much like Muhammad Ali, and Orochimaru was like me and you trying to fight him. Like that's how bad. And Orochimaru is, we're gonna get into Orochimaru later on this ranking. Like Orochimaru is no scrub, but he tried to kill Itachi twice, and Itachi's just like, you're not on my level. So like,
well, real quick, just to help you, when you're saying grief form is Susanoo, by the way.
Yeah, Susanoo. Yes, that's what. Yeah, his Susanoo form. It's just like you thought he was powerful enough. Then you see his Susanoo, you're like, God damn. So he's definitely S rank, without a doubt.
And I will say it's interesting because also the Sharingan is such a broken can you really call it an ability? Like it's more so like attachment to the character, with the Uchiha and everything, even with like Kakashi, because it's like it feels like you could just do so much with just like these eyeballs that it's like, doesn't matter what jutsu at that point. It's just it's just more so about just like looking someone in the eyes, and literally you could just have this Susanoo like I said in Shippuden, it just like they just stopped doing like jutsu at that point. It was literally just like, oh, these abilities, like who cares what jutsu you're doing at this point. I'm trying to think, because the only nerf to this is that if you use it seems like if you use it a lot, specifically like your Susanoo's and your oh my gosh, what's the black fire called? I'm tripping right now. Amaterasu. When you use these abilities too much, it seems like it causes blinding. So it's like, can they do this on a regular basis without going blind? I don't know, but yeah, like Itachi's dangerous, obviously. So like we said, S, possibly bottom S. I don't know. I think we'll see. But Itachi, literally, even as a teenager, Abu Black Ops, you also got to think he literally slayed an entire clan of Uchiha members like that. That's this guy. Honestly, what I think Hiruzen said, it was like Hokage like potential, but he literally went down doing justice for the the Leaf Village and all that. So Itachi, honestly, a problem.
Danzo, man, he's a freaking punk.
I hate Danzo, bro. Danzo,
and him,
such a horrible character.
Oh, so he died.
Me too. You and everybody else. So the next character is Juzo Loki. I feel like this is what we should use the question mark for, because like, yeah, like I know he had like the sword. What was it? He had the one of the, I forget what the name was, it an executioner blade? I think that's what it was called. But that's the one that Zabuza had. I said, did I say Zabuza? Yeah, that's the one that Zabuza had. You slash someone and then it can basically regenerate itself with like human blood and all that stuff. So that's cool. But we also seen someone like Sugetsu use the executioner blade. He's like, I'm not calling him like a high tier or anything like that, but and also, to be fair, we only saw Juzo on like a flashback one episode. We never saw anything about him. In the episode we did see him, he got murked. So I mean, I personally wouldn't rank him. If I did, he would be in D rank. Honestly, I will make an F for trash. But what do you what do you want to do, Josh? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I would probably put him. I would probably put him in the same realm as Hedon, just around there. Maybe even probably D. Probably
Okay.
even like D. Maybe like because Hedon and him, I can argue for both being like D rank. It's only because again, like we didn't really see enough of his power, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like he did handle his own against the Three Tails Jinchuriki. So I mean, that definitely gives him a little bit of consideration. And I believe he was Itachi's partner before Kisame too. So the fact that he was able to be Itachi's partner for like a X amount of time, you
Mm-hmm.
got to give him some props for that. Now I do wish that we could have seen more of his power. Like you said, like we only got like a couple flashback episodes, and one of those episodes he got killed. So so I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like it doesn't really help his case, but I would put him in the question mark for now. But if I was to rank him at the end, if we have to like rank him, I definitely would put him at D rank.
So we can see him for the end then. I'm down for that. All right. So next is Kakazu.
Wow.
Um Kakazu, you can explain. I explained the last, so go ahead.
Yeah, Kakazu, he's definitely interesting. Like his ability, it's I'm not gonna lie to you, it's kind of hard to explain, but he pretty much has like four spirits. I know that you have to kill him 5 times, and like he really now I definitely think like if he only had one life, like Kakashi would have pretty much like effed him up already. But because he had those four extra spirits, and again, like one was water spirit, wind spirit, fire spirit, like they were all like and the ability to have like long range attacks. And then the crazy part is like if he dies, one of his spirits just comes on in and revives him, and he's right back into it. And he really handled his own. Like you got to remember, he took on Naruto. It took Naruto's wind style Rasengan Shuriken in order to kill him. So like, and then even like he handled his own against Kakashi. Even Shikamaru, I know Shikamaru ended up fighting Hidan 1-on-1, but he took on all those guys at once. And I know he was even recognized. Obito, I forget. No, it was Pain. Sorry, it was Nagato. Nagato had the audacity to even come up to him and give him a little warning, like, hey, like Naruto and his friends are powerful. And the fact that he even gave him the opportunity for Kakazu to fight Naruto and his comrades and stuff. And we all know how strong Nagato is. We'll get into him later. That's like and more like major props. Like his power is definitely up there. I definitely would think it would be. I think he's the perfect B rank, for me.
Okay.
And I know I might be hating a little bit because I know there's a lot of Kakuzu's fans and stuff like that. But I mean, we can have a debate between him or Daedra. Like, who do you prefer? If you want to answer that question.
So first I will say Kakazu is a problem. like he's literally like a ninja zombie. He has all those hearts and everything, and it took like a whole squad of people just to take him down. So yeah, Kakazu I do think is an issue. Even beforehand, if you remember, I mean, I don't know how much weight this holds because a lot of those guys were trash, but when they were all hyper focused on Deidre, and then Kakazu basically didn't even really try and was like taking down those guys very quickly. Asuma's squad and everything, but not Kakazu. You broke everything down basically. Like he's just an issue. He has what, especially when he has all those hearts and everything, and he has like those blasts. Like I will say real quick with Akatsuki, I wish Kishimoto kind of dipped and dived into a little bit more with these guys because like literally even with like Hidan, like the cult of Joshin, like Like, what is that? How is he immortal? Like, can you explain the afterlife? How is Kakazu able to still stay alive and transfer all these hearts to him? Stuff like, is this some kind of technique? Is it forbidden? What is going on here? So there's a lot we don't understand about how he does it, but he does it, and he does it very well. Even now, I also remember when he was brought back undead. I mean, I don't know how much weight this holds when we talk about the reanimated Akatsuki members, but they did handle him, I believe, in one episode. But the way it did take like multiple people, so it seems like Kakazu's the type of opponent that you need to kind of like jump, and you can't really handle one-on-one. So that alone, I'll also say he is B rank. Now above Deidre, I don't know. I feel like Deidre not only taking down a Hokage, and constant fights with, and he had his fight with um Sasuke and everything too. Deidre also stayed alive for I think he stayed alive longer than Kakazu. I'm not wrong there. I think he did stay alive longer
Yeah, he
than
did.
in the content that we saw on screen, we saw Deidre fight a lot more people than Kakazu. So I might put Deidre over Kakazu. That's just me. But what about you?
Yeah, I agree. I just wanted to see how you were feeling with it.
Yeah.
I think Kakazu, I think he's at the top of B. I would move Deidre to the bottom of A.
Okay.
Yeah, just because, like, as we're thinking about it, I did more research on Deidre. I also think he was a part of also capturing the four tails too.
Yeah.
So not only did he capture the three tails, he also captured the four tails and took on a Kazekage in Gaara.
That's what I was saying. Like, I was like, we saw Deidre take down a lot of people on screen.
Yep.
With a lot more time. He got fleshed out a lot. And to be honest, yeah, he lost to Sasuke, but he kind of like ended himself. It wasn't Sasuke ended himself. Just a little nitpick, whatever. Who is this? I don't know who this is. Who is this guy?
Oh man, what?
I don't recognize this person at all. It seems like this is someone from the past when before they went all evil and got manipulated and stuff. Like, I don't recognize this person at all.
I think isn't he Kakuzu's teammate? That's what they referenced him as.
Oh, I mean, did we even see him do anything? Like, I'm pretty sure Kakazu just killed him. That's why they kept putting him with people. And he kept killing them. They had to give him the undead person so he couldn't kill him. So, like, why are you here?
That question mark for now. Maybe we'll do if we have time, maybe we'll do like a Google search on him real quick. No disrespect. I know there's
probably fans on screen. Like, we don't know this guy. Like,
I know there's probably fans of his right now. Like, come on, dog. Like, you guys better do your damn research.
No, this is the grind. I don't know that guy. Fodder. So next is Kizame. Kizame, in my opinion, is one of the most disrespected Akatsuki members there are. I think Kizame straight up is possibly an A rank, and I'm gonna tell you why. So one, Kizame has been there since part one. All right. He he fought Guy. He never could beat Guy, but he fought Guy a bunch. We saw him literally before he died. For one, another case of someone having to kill themselves. They couldn't beat him. But they can only lock him up or something like that. He had to bite his tongue and kill himself. But he's literally like a Jinchuriki. He's like one of the tail beast. Like another situation where it's like, I wish they kind of explained more about what's going on here. Like how is he able to turn into like this shark, like this monster? Like I don't get it. Like Kishimoto really missed the target here with explaining how some of these characters do these things. It's like, how is he able to turn into the shark? Like, I never got that. But anyway, his tail, his shark bombs are cool. His water prisons, his water clones. I remember he also had shark summons and all this stuff. Like I thought Kizame was an issue. This guy's a total tank, super strong, very good offensive and defensively. It seemed like Guy was really the only one who could like give him an issue. But even with that, like both times they had to jump him. Like I remember They needed Asuma and Kurenai for the first time they fought Kisame in part 1, and then he needed the rest of his team to help fight him in part 2. So it's like Kisame, like Kakazu, needs multiple people to take the guy down. Even when they did capture him the first time, at the end of the series, there was a lot of people who had to jump him to do it. And we didn't even get into his blade. His blade is crazy, man. Like, it literally, he'll swing it and people thinking that he's missing when it's like, no, his blade is literally eating chakra off of people. So it's crazy how Kisame is just such a problem. I love his character. I will personally put him at A. Where specifically, I don't know. But what are you thinking, Josh?
I completely agree with you. In fact, I would put Kisame ahead of Daedra in top of A.
Okay, I can agree with that.
As of right now, just because for all the reasons you said, and to even add to your point, I forget what his sword name is, but when he died, you got to remember his sword ended up joining with Killer B because I forget the sword really like Killer B's power. So Kisame took on a 7 gates Mike Guy without like the main purpose of his sword. And again, it took Mike Guy to go to 7 gates, and we all saw what happened with Mike Guy at 8 gates against Madara.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the fact that it took him to go 7 gates, and the only reason why Mike Guy was a tough matchup against Kisame is because you can't absorb taijutsu. You can absorb ninjutsu and genjutsu. That's one of the reasons why, like, Mike Guy was just such a great matchup against him, because you can't absorb his taijutsu. And that's why Mike Guy was able to defeat him with the 7 gates, because I believe it's Lion Fist. When he hit him with the Lion Fist, Kisame thought that it was a genjutsu, so he was ready to absorb it, but in reality, it was a taijutsu, and that's how he was defeated by Mike Guy.
Mm-hmm.
So putting that into the factor, and also again, like, his stamina is OP. Even when he killed himself, he was able to take the scroll, so that way they didn't get any information.
Oh yeah, with the shark bomb,
with the shark bomb. So, like, he definitely is a slept on character in the Akatsuki. I definitely think he's one of the strongest members. And I know we'll get into Orochimaru in a little bit, but he's definitely A rank without it.
Real quick, I had to search it up because it's a complex name, but it's Himakakure. That's the name of the sword, the Himakakure.
And again, like, when I was just rewatching everything before this podcast, I was like, dang, like, he took on 7 gates guy without the sword you just said, because he joined Killer B. Now and that's one of the reasons why, like, he kind of failed. Now, he definitely did fail that mission though, but the fact that he was even assigned to take on the 8 Tails Jinchuriki, you got to give that some consideration as well in terms of his power, because Killer B is right up there. Like, he's obviously not on the same level as Naruto, but it would go Naruto number 1 and then him at number 2 as, like, the best tailed beast. So, like, in the fact that they assigned Kisame to kill him, you got to give him some props there. So I would put him ahead of Daedra. No disrespect to him either, but I think Kisame,
I agree,
with his ability to absorb any genjutsu, and like Daedra, like his taijutsu is okay, but that's one of the that's the reason why he was always paired against Mike Guy. Mike Guy is taijutsu. That's the only form you can't absorb that. You can't. So yeah, I completely agree with you. Kisame definitely should have had more shine. And also, I know I'm talking a lot.
You're good.
He's one of my favorite Akatsuki members. Always has been.
Kisame's dope.
And I mean, like, he now, the funny thing is, he did try. He's another one, just like Orochimaru. He did try to fight Hitachi, and Hitachi again. It was like Muhammad Ali fighting me and you. It was like, come on, dude. Like, really? Like,
you're using hand signs and stuff. He's like, I have the Sharingan, so like, sit down.
Like, you really want to fight me? So yeah, definitely not in the same conversation as Itachi. I would put him right. He's perfect at A rank. Perfect.
Okay. So next is Conan. Another one of the most disrespected characters, in my opinion, because Kishimoto does not know how to write female characters. Like you, if you take it in account, before we got the full reveal, she was literally like this close from killing Obito, right? Literally Obito is one of the few people who can actually avoid an attack like that. A literal sea of paper bombs, right? And it's literally the only way he beat her. Barely was because of the you know, you can go transparent and all,
Yeah.
so like it goes through them. So that's the only way. But I mean, she held her own against Jiraiya too. Like it's not like she's some scrub, right? And like I said, I'm gonna keep saying this entire podcast, but I don't understand how she was able to turn into paper and all this stuff. Like it felt like it was I was watching One Piece where she had like a paper fruit or something like that. Like I don't know how, but she somehow was able to turn her body into paper. And she was like flying stuff like paper bombs, and she was making into spears and wings and stuff. And like I don't get like this character is so confusing because we barely spent any time with Conan as well. Like she was kind of like hinted at the same amount as like Pain, and like when we saw her, we didn't really get much of her. Like Kishimo struggles writing girls. But you know, she that one fight, she only had two fights, one with Jiraiya barely, and then Obito. But that Obito fight to me proved that she was an issue. Now, to be fair, she was in the middle of the ocean and it took a lot of prep to do something like this because she had to set the paper bombs there beforehand before they even fall. It's not like she just put them there. So she does need prep. But she was I do think that she is worthy of like top B as of right now, if not bottom A. But I'm more so, I mean, because the explosion factor and everything is also a Deidre. But I don't know what I'm either low A, top B. But what do you think, Josh? You could think differently.
No, I honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. After doing a lot of research on her. Now, technically, this is non-canon, but you know, one of the Naruto video games, she did take out Sasori.
Oh,
Sasori.
really?
Yeah, yeah. It looked.
Oh, wait. Are you talking about the creation of the Akatsuki?
Yes.
That was canon. That
Oh,
was canon.
is that canon? Is
The
that not?
creation of the Akatsuki story mode. That's literally how they created it. It's canon.
Yeah, because like they showed because they showed Sasori because he was like, here I have the third Kazakage here. Like, let's see what you got, and she murked him in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So yes,
And that happened. That's canon.
okay. So just making sure if we're counting that, I would put her bottom A.
Okay.
And again, just like you said, I feel bad because Conan, again, like she did have a lot of prep against Obito, but the fact that she got Obito to the point where he had to use that plot armor jutsu in order for him to like escape and stuff, because we all know like no one is surviving all those paper bombs. I definitely like you said, like I wish I had a backstory. Like, why is she all paper?
It's like we got her in Yahigo and Nagato. We did get their backstories, but I'm trying to remember if it was like a forbidden jutsu or something. Like, I don't understand how she was able to do what she does. Like I don't think they ever explained it, but I mean, whatever she's able to do, like she does it very well. You know, we just didn't get that quality time with her to really flesh out her character.
yeah, and just to add to your point, the fact that she was able to create like a tree to hide Nagato, and it took Naruto to fully like pretty much master Sage mode to like figure out where he was. Unless you have Sage mode, you're not going to find them.
No.
Yeah, so just putting that into a factor too. Again, I wish she had more shine because as we have to when we rank her though, we have to put her in the Jiraiya fight too, because I mean she was able to survive Jiraiya, but she did not get any moment of shine. She didn't land any hits on him. And the last thing we saw of her against Jiraiya was Jiraiya base form, and he was able to paralyze her.
Kishimoto doesn't know how to write girls. I'm just saying.
Yes, I totally agree. So like it's tough ranking her. But the fact that she's a part of Pain, she's been going around murking people, and also that fight against Sasori. Isaiah, once we're done the podcast, I would like for you to check that out.
I seen it. I played it. It's
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
So I would put her right there at bottom A. I think she's perfect right there because I definitely think her paper bombs would definitely give Kakazu definitely some problems.
Yeah.
And again, like her smarts in the battle, like the fact that she was able to prep all of that for Obito, she took everything in consideration. So she's definitely very intelligent. She knows what she's doing. And also she's been around Nagato for so long. So like she definitely picked up on some things and how to fight and stuff through him and stuff. So I would put her right there at bottom A, maybe even top of B, depending on how we rank everyone else.
Okay.
But I definitely think she slept on. I want to give her props. And just like you said, girls in Naruto are just they just don't get respected enough. So
no, they don't. All right. Next is Orochimaru. I know you've been wanting to talk about Orochimaru for a lot, so go ahead, Josh.
honestly, like it would take us a whole podcast just to talk about Orochimaru's powers. We're pretty much just gonna say he is a smart scientist that can pretty much plant himself in any body. And I would put him at top of A.
Oh, okay.
Yes, the reason why I would put him at top of A is because again, he tried to kill Itachi twice, and just like Kisame, Itachi was looking at him like, you're a scrub, you're not on my level. But I definitely would think him and a Kisame versus Orochimaru would definitely be a very interesting fight. Because Orochimaru, he was able to summon, I forget the jutsu, but like it's one of the most powerful and deadly jutsus of all time. It was the little snake that was about to bite Itachi. That jutsu apparently, even though Itachi like detected it and like just flicked the sword at it and died. Again, that just shows you how OP Itachi is. That jutsu was one of the most powerful summoning jutsus ever. So you got to take that into consideration. He was able to kill the third Hokage. He again, the whole curse mark stuff. Like the fact that he can bite somebody and their powers can increase, and then also like he lives inside of them as well.
Yeah,
he never dies. He's pretty much like, I mean, if you want to reference Boruto, like he pretty much does with the karma crap. Like they implant karma into their body. And then I forget what they're called, that whole clan. I'm going completely blank, but they like live inside of you and they eat and then once you die, like that's when they take your body and stuff.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what Orochimaru was doing before everyone else was doing it in Boruto. So Orochimaru, in my opinion, is top of A. I would not put him at S rank because I think Itachi and everyone else above Itachi would murk him pretty easily. Like even Sasuke, like pretty much like murked him as well. So
yeah. I agree with you. I agree with that. I'm actually going to put him there. The two factors that make Itachi such a threat is one, he can learn all 5 styles of jutsu, so he can learn a lot of different jutsus. So that's one thing. But the second thing was, since honestly, when I look at Itachi, he's like the master of forbidden jutsus. He uses all the jutsu that you're not supposed to use, but he does them anyway. One thing that I wish, like I said earlier, they expanded upon was the fact that this guy can basically summon the Grim Reaper and exchange souls and then bring something, reanimate by like sacrificing your soul and all that stuff. There's obviously like an afterlife in Naruto. They didn't expand on that, but like he knows how to do that. Like you said, he's always like, he knows how to switch his bodies to try to stay immortal. He can literally like put himself in your curse mark and he'll still be alive, and also he's like the scientist. He's the science guy. Like he he has all those experiments and stuff like that. So like he knows the ins and outs when it comes to jutsu's limits and their maximum potentials and stuff like that. And other than like Sasuke, I'm trying to think who else has beaten Orochimaru. So Sasuke, Orochimaru, by the way, beat Hiruzen. Yeah, he was old, but like Hiruzen was a Kage, so he's no scrub. He beat Hiruzen. He was able to summon Kage. He did it twice. He did Naruto beat him in his Biju form? I don't think so. No. Um, yeah, like Orochimaru is no scrub, man. Like honestly, it's kind of I don't know if it's called playing dirty or not because he's using forbidden jutsu, but I mean he's using what he has, so I'm gonna give him top A as well.
Yeah, and also what gives him the nod over over Kisame and Deidra and also like everyone else is
Mm-hmm.
the fact that he can like reincarnate people from the dead. So like the fact that he brought the first Hokage and the second Hokage back to life,
Yeah,
like the third Hokage, you gotta understand like that is like one of the top forbidden jutsus and like in the whole series, and the fact that he can bring back anybody from the dead, you gotta that would well not anybody, but pretty
well,
much
yeah.
yeah, like certain people. The fact that he can do that,
If you think about it, he was about to take over the leaf, but literally Hiruzen had to do that jutsu, the same one that Orochimaru used to reanimate. He had to use the Reaper's Death Seal on Orochimaru and literally kill himself, just to put something. What he used that forbidden jutsu to put like a hex on Orochimaru, so he couldn't use his arms ever again. And Orochimaru literally had to switch bodies just to use jutsu, like. So, like if you have to go, you literally have to kill yourself just to beat Orochimaru or at least like nerf him or in some fashion, then kudos to you. He's a threat for sure.
agreed.
Um, so let's go to the next one. It is Pain, the face for most of the series of the Akatsuki. Pain, honestly, one of my favorite characters. I mean, this is really Yahiko's body with Nagato controlling him, but Pain is dope. Literally destroyed the entire Leaf Village with the almighty push. The the thing with him, before we rank, are we going to rank just this path of Pain, or are we going to rank the entire like Pain as a whole? Because there's 6 paths. So are we going to rank him as like the entire collective, or are we going to just rank one body?
I
I feel like it's nerfing if we don't rank the entire thing.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got to rank the entire thing.
Okay, then with that case, he's got to be an S rank.
Yeah, I would no disrespect to Itachi, but I would put him like the entire pain. Like,
Okay.
are we including Nagato as well? Because Nagato is, I mean, he's technically the one that's controlling everyone too.
Yeah.
The reason why I would put
No, I don't think we should count Nagato. No. I mean, I think we should just count all the passive pain, because Nagato really is just like sitting there, in his contraption, controlling everything. So
yeah, I know, but that's one of the reasons why like I would like to, because like he's powerful enough to control every single one of them.
yeah.
And also like his
Oh, then we can count him. Yeah, count
and,
him.
yeah, and he's also part of the Uzumaki clan, which is I mean we all know Naruto and stuff. Like the whole what to say pain. I would put all of the pain ahead of Itachi. No, and that's no disrespect to Itachi. And the reason why I'm saying that is because again, you have all 6 paths, you have Almighty Push, and also the ability of the Renegon as well in all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's no disrespect to Itachi. Again, Itachi is S rank, but pain and what and what they represent, and in terms of their power, I'm taking all 6 and Nagato. It would be a very very tough fight. But like I was talking to a lot of people about this, but Nagato again, he got a lot of people don't realize this. Like he created the Akatsuki, like he was one of the founding members of the Akatsuki, and Obito also considered Nagato to be the what is it, the right of 6 paths?
Yeah.
Yeah, the sage of 6 paths, or
Because I think Jiraiya had said that he thought that would be him as well.
yeah. So the fact that Obito said that about Nagato as well, Like that's high praise to be considered the sage of the six paths. And again,
Mhm.
the ability of the Renegon as well. And then he also has all of the Uzumaki clan's powers. Like
Nah, not all of them. Not
well,
all of
not
them.
all of them, but most of them.
Okay.
Like he even that jutsu where like yeah he like sacrificed himself, but he revived everyone that he killed
Yeah.
in the village. Like and you also got to remember like you got to look at all the people that all of Pain killed. Kakashi was killed. Um, I think what was this? Was Tsunade killed as well? A lot of
No,
people
she was
died.
just hurt. She was hurt by a lot
He was
though.
badly hurt, but a
Yeah.
lot of people got murked by Pain, like Jiraiya. Like they made light work of Jiraiya. Not and that's no disrespect to Jiraiya. Like R.I.P. I love Jiraiya. I cried when he passed away and stuff. But if you're looking at that fight, yeah, like Jiraiya hit him with everything and no match. So
So go
yeah.
ahead.
So I would put him ahead of Itachi and S rank.
So this conversation is interesting, right? Because they actually had Itachi and Nagato like reincarnated together. I thought that was interesting. But honestly, one, I do think he's going to be an S tier no matter what. But this conversation's it's almost what do you favor more? Do you think it's like do you think the Sharingan is stronger or do you think the Renegon is stronger? Because Itachi's the ultimate Sharingan user. Honestly, Nagato or Pain or whatever we'll call him Pain because it's the collective. Pain is the almost ultimate Renegon user. You know, the abilities of the Renegon is crazy. Kind of interesting that they kind of got scrapped after Pain left because they like Sasuke had the Renegon. He could have done a lot of this stuff, but for some reason, Kishimoto never had Sasuke use it. Plot holes. Anyway, you know, you literally have the whole gravity situation, you know, like almighty push and all that stuff. It's crazy, you know, pull people in and such. You literally have the paint the path with the you can summon all these different like beasts and everything. You have the other path which was barely used, which was literally the robotic one that had all the missiles and everything. Like I don't know why Sasuke could have been shooting like missiles out of his body or something. He never did it. But you know, you could be shooting missiles and all that stuff. There's literally the ability where you can summon some demon and it literally grabs your tongue, and if you tell it a lie, it'll rip your tongue out and kill you. And I'm forgetting like one or two more, I think. But no, Pain is definitely an issue. Pain uh beat a lot of people alone, technically, since it's six bodies, but technically beat a lot of people alone. And if I remember correctly, Obito was planning on using Pain to do the reincarnation jutsu on Madara initially. So
Yep.
because he's Uchiha, because he has that large amount of chakra, you know, Pain is naturally always going to be an issue. With that being said, it's tough because I don't know if I want to put him over Itachi because Itachi has like that ability by itself is broken, but also Pain. It takes a lot of bodies just to beat Pain. But I also don't know. I think possibly Itachi might be able to take them on because Susanoo and all that. I don't know. Like I almost want to put them equal. I know our friend Freddie's gonna watch this and call me a fool if I put Pain over him, but I don't know. I kind of want to put Itachi top, but like I'll give for honestly, me putting Pain here is a vote for me is they're on equal terms in my opinion. But you're saying that Pain is over Itachi. That's
Yeah.
fine. To me, they're equal. But I I would give a slight edge to Itachi, but I'm willing to give. It's okay.
Yeah. See now, I would because I agree. I definitely think like they're very similar in terms of power. Like this fight would not be like an over matchup. It would not. But the reason why I would give Pain the slight edge is because again, Itachi also, when it comes to his health, he also is starting to have some like illnesses and heart problems as well. When he was fighting Sasuke, he knew that he was going to die anyway. That's
Mhm.
one of the things like I really like again Itachi's character and what he did to build Sasuke up and stuff. don't get me wrong, like they're both S tier without a doubt. But that's one of the reasons why I would give the slight advantage to Pain, just because like people really sleep on Nagato's like power.
I also remember literally one of the paths got destroyed by Konohamaru doing a Rasengan as a child. So I'm just like, are they really that durable? I don't know. But
I also thought though, like they can like get regenerated as well, because you saw Jiraiya
yeah,
Jiraiya took a knife to 3 of them and they just came back to life.
it's the path with the tongue rip
Yes.
demon thing. But that was the issue. That was the one that Konohamaru did the Rasengan on. So if you figure that out and you get rid of that one specifically, then that's where things get a little complicated, because you might I don't know if the durability of these three, of most of the bodies are that good, but the precipice one specifically, that's the main one that we see in the icon. That's the strong one. So
Yeah, and
I'll give for now. I think they're equal. That to me that's the equal vote, because I actually don't know who has the edge on that. But
okay, I like it.
when you have it's hard to go against someone who has a genjutsu that literally, if you get caught in it, you can't escape unless you change your ways. Like, that's kind of broken. Yeah, but like I said, man, Kishimoto not explaining things, so it's hard to rank characters here. There's a lot, especially with these. No, all of them, honestly, they all have something that I just don't understand. Like, that just was like, even him. DJ, I know he got forbidden jutsu. That's how he got those mouths on his hands and stuff. But it's like a lot of this stuff is not explained, and they just kind of throw him in the series and just expect you to be like, okay, like, we don't need a backstory. Like, you just gotta get it. I'm like, oh, all right. Anyway, next person is Sasori. Sasori, honestly, one of my favorite members of the Akatsuki as well. It sucks that his time got cut so short, because I think Sasori, um, I love Sasori. Like I know he's a puppet user. He got his puppet body where he literally can he like literally, it's hard to kill him because he can put himself back together. He has all that poison and that fire and the spikes and everything. Like, half of his body's like covered in poison, so if he touches you, like, it's over for. He has a poison fog, and then he literally has the scrolls of like hundreds of puppets, that ultimate puppets that he built, by the way, that he can literally use to attack you. So it's like, if he wasn't going against like Granny Chio, were they really going to beat puppet body Sasori? Like, Sasori, honestly, they needed to like put him against another puppet user, because if they didn't do that, I honestly don't know if they would have beat Sasori. Like, Sakura wasn't doing that alone, and Chio honestly was one of the few people that could beat Sasori. Like, we saw another puppet user like Konkuro try to go against him, and Sasori was still in one of his puppet forms and completely murked him. It was like he wasn't even like trying. Like, he literally just used the tail on one of his puppets and completely murked Sasori, because he's just such a master when it comes to like poisons and stuff like that. So he's fun to watch. But it's also, even if you think about his reanimated version, where it was his human body, not his puppet body. But I loved it when he literally used his strings to control a guy, and then he made the guy run in, and then Deidre filled him with bombs and he exploded him. So I thought that was funny. But no, Sasori as a puppet user, I think that he does great. His poisons are hard to fight, but it's not impossible to beat, and especially when not a non-prime Chio and Sakura defeated him, where you see these other guys up here like Kakazu, and Kizume going against like multiple people. Sasori struggled against 2 people, and one wasn't even in their prime. They died like not too far after the fight. So Sasori for me might be a B rank, possibly under Kakazu. But I think, honestly, on a personal aspect, I think Sasori wasn't given justice in the series. He had no business being the first Akatsuki member to die. And I think that I wish we got more time with him. But what do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And just to add more, that puppet with that tail, right? I believe that is the third Kazekage.
Oh,
Yeah, because he killed the third Kazekage, and let's everybody know this: the third Kazekage was compared to, out of all the Kazekage, the strongest Kazekage ever. So yeah, and like
can I interrupt you real quick? I'm so sorry.
yes, yeah, you're good.
I'm such a fool. I even forgot the iron sand techniques that he does
Yes,
are crazy as well. But
yes.
go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm so mad I didn't even include that. But go ahead.
That's all good. I mean, that's why me and you are both recording, man. There's some stuff I missed that you get. There's some stuff that we got each other, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, Sasori is definitely so. Oh my goodness, the anime, he had so much potential, and they killed him off. The way how they killed him off was dirty. Like, come on, you lose to just like you said, a non-prime character, and then Sakura too. Now, Sakura, Tsunade did teach Sakura a lot about like her invasive skills and also like her healing jutsus and stuff. I know she was still trying to figure that out, but that definitely helped her a lot in battle. And definitely, like, I rewatched the fight. The fight honestly made no sense because he like poisoned them like 8 times, and they both were just standing there perfectly fine. So,
Armor.
yes, plot armor. So the anime definitely did Sasori bad. And then to make matters worse, the video game, or not the video game, the canon, remember that we mentioned earlier?
Yeah.
With
Yeah, Conan.
oh,
Yeah.
no, not Hidan, my fault. Conan.
Yeah.
Conan murked him. Like it wasn't even a discussion. Like he was talking bad. Oh yeah, I got this puppet, third Kazekage. He's the GOAT. And Conan just said, all right, light work. So putting that in the factor, I would definitely think B rank for him. And again, I definitely think he had the highest potential. Now, I believe he was 30 too. That's the crazy part. He was 30, and he looked like, because of his puppet body and stuff, he looked like a kid.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so I would definitely put him B rank. I would put him behind Kakazu, just because Kakazu's like spirit power and his ability. I think his explosive power would give Sasori tough time. And so I would definitely think B rank. He's the perfect B rank character.
Even for fun, if you put him against Hidan can't hurt him because he's literally a puppet. So it's like you can't stab something that's not alive, you know. So I was gonna say Toby, but since we don't have an individual Obito picture, we could just call this Obito. So
there's not really much discussion. He's
honestly, I see where your question was earlier about making a row above. I'm gonna just top ass. Like, come on now.
He's a goat. Like Obito. Everyone knows his power, and the fact that he was able to hold the 10 tails as well. It's another thing as well.
And Jerky, to the transparency, like you can't go through him. He literally has a Susanoo as well. He's a problem. Like I mean, you can go into detail, but it's like there's no question he's top of us.
Yes.
Yeah, even when we talk about Obito, God, like Conan, honestly, before the war, Conan was the closest to even beat him. And it's like I felt like he was literally trolling people. Like he actually didn't really fight people. He just let people go through him half of the time. But I think about is when he was a kid and they were trying to get the Rin, the Jinchuriki that was inside Rin, and literally once she died and Kakashi passed out and everything, as a child, he tapped into the tree the tree jutsus and stuff that he had, and for some reason that's the strongest form of jutsus in Naruto for some reason, but he tapped into that and completely murked. I mean, they were all fodder, but a complete group of ninja, and destroyed them completely. But even in the war, like you said, Ten Tails Jinchuriki, if we're putting that in the mix, he has the Sharingan and the Rinnegan. He has Kamui. Like what else is there to talk about? Like come on now.
I agree. I mean, for all those reasons, I mean, with him, there's not really that much to talk about. He's
Yeah.
the GOAT.
So
oh yeah, this guy. That's the guy that is Kaku. That's Kakusu's partner. Put him at D rank.
we definitely don't know who that guy is.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's the guy that was at Kakusu's former partner. He killed him instantly.
So we might as well rank this guy. You say put him there. Right.
Yeah, put him right there. Yeah,
and who the heck is this?
let's see. Yeah, I don't know who.
Question mark. These are fodder, man. Like they were in that one episode. We never saw them again.
Yeah.
So lastly we have is Zetsu. So Zetsu. Look, I'm gonna put because I know you have your opinions on this. I want Zetsu. Yeah, I mean, if we want to put respect on his name, like we can put him like above this guy, like behind Hidan and C. But like Zetsu, it depends on what you look at him. Like Zetsu, really, like his main function for the group was just to be like the spy, right? And he did that to effectiveness. But if you want to talk about Black Zetsu, I mean, yeah, he killed Obito, but like,
Yeah, he
really. Like like Zetsu's thing is just being manipulative and the spy and doing recon and stuff. Like, I mean, maybe if we had the white Zetsus alone, but like that we don't. That's not that's not what we're ranking. Black. This is just black white Zetsu. Like Zetsu, the main one. He's not like he took over a very badly damaged Obito's body, and then a very badly damaged Madara body after he fought Guy, and he beat them. Like he preys on people when they're weak, and he just manipulates people. Like he's not an issue. But I mean, if we want to give him respect, maybe C, like mid C, above these two fodder characters. But I don't know. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would honestly. In terms of fighting, he doesn't do anything. He's the GOAT at his job, which is to be a spy. Like he can create like his white Zetsu clones and stuff. Like he is the perfect guy if you want someone to spy and find out information. If I need anyone to call, I'm calling Zetsu. I'm like, yo, I'm calling you, yo, figure out everything you need to know. Because like people have tried to kill him, you can't kill him. Like he ends up getting away regardless. So, but I mean, in terms of physical strength and power, he stinks. So just to put some respect in his name, I definitely would put him in the C rank. Depending on where I would put him, I would probably put him in between Hidan and
Whatever his face is.
Yeah, and one of the I think I'm just gonna call him the swordsman because
the guy who was on the one episode.
Yeah. I might even put him ahead of Zetsu just because he took on a Jinchuriki. Like,
okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, because when it comes to power, Zetsu's not really that strong. Now he's definitely at least C rank though. He's not a scrub. He's not D rank.
Yeah.
But again, he's just really good at spying and figuring out information. I mean, he was able to manipulate everyone, like even Madara. Mm-hmm. But again, I count that a lot to like plot armor. Because if you want to be honest, he could have died by any of these guys. If you want to be honest, like all these guys on this list, except maybe the swordsman, but could have killed him if they really wanted to. Just put that out there. So that's why I put him at the bottom of C.
All right. So I mean, that's rank Obito, Pain, and Hitachi, and then everyone else afterwards.
Yep.
This is our final list. Is there any changes, Josh?
Now if we do add Madara, obviously Madara is at the top of S.
That's obvious, yeah.
So it would go Madara, Obito, Pain, and Itachi. Make your pick. I wanted to also add in one more thing with that, as I was really thinking. The more Itachi uses
he goes blind, I know.
Blind, whereas I mean
Okay,
That's
whatever.
one of the things about the Renegon, but that's the only thing I think hurt Itachi. That's why Itachi's great, literally fives in all categories, but stamina.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he continues to just use that eye over and over and over again, eventually he turns blind and you can't use the eye anymore. So that's the only thing I would factor. But other than that, I mean, I'm happy with this list. I'm pretty solid. It does suck though, because I really wanted to see more of Sasori. I definitely think if he would have had a better fight, he definitely could have been A rank. But you got to put in consideration, look, like you lost to Sakura and what's that lady?
They
Yeah,
they literally had to put him against one of the like he's the ultimate puppet master. They had to put him against the next best puppet master, like the day before she died. Like plot armor to the fullest. But all right, whatever, go crazy. Okay. Like who can beat the best puppeteer ever in ninja history? Another good puppeteer. Oh, okay, I gotcha. They just happen to both live in the same village. No confusion there. I get it.
yeah. Now, so my last question for you with the Akatsuki in general, because I know we've been talking about this for a while. Who out of all the Akatsuki members, which one annoyed you the most?
Oh boy. Well, Sasori was annoying. I mean, not Sasori. Zetsu was annoying because I completely ruined the series for me. The series ending. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of Zetsu. I just it came so out of nowhere, and as well as it made sense, it just wasn't like no one like where did you come from, like like I know you were there, but like you choose now of all times to kill both, like you robbed us of a crazy power Madara. Honestly, I don't know who was going to beat Madara at that point. But no, he has to come out of nowhere and then revive Kaguya. I'm just like, okay, like I don't like you. You didn't do anything for two arcs. No, like he was spotted in part one Naruto, didn't do anything. The entire part two of Naruto didn't do anything, but he just chose the war to come out with this crazy plan of plot armor. And I just don't like Zetsu. Zetsu sucks, and I hate him. But there you go.
Hey man, you couldn't have said it more. Out of all the Akatsuki, I couldn't stand Zetsu, but I also couldn't stand Hidan as well.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, he just acted so stupid. Like compared to the other Akatsuki members, like he just has to draw a circle of blood, and once he gets your blood, I'm like, come on, man, like
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
I mean, other than that, I mean, the Akatsuki, just like we mentioned earlier, like it is, it's one of the best villain groups out of all the animes, and definitely a lot of other new animes have definitely taken notes on the Akatsuki. More importantly, I know my Hero Academia fans, the League of Villains. There's some similarities there, I will say.
But no,
But
I mean I love the Akatsuki. It's not Akatsuki is up there with Espada from Bleach, like the Rancor, like for one like two of my favorite villain groups. But Akatsuki, although flawed, I love the Akatsuki, the concept. It's unfortunate that it was just a chain of manipulation. It's like, oh, this is really Kaguya controlling Black Zetsu, who's controlling Madara, who's controlling Obito, who's controlling Pain. It's just like you're just controlling it, but like you like, oh, like come on now. But it was fun. It was a fun ride. Even when they got reincarnated, there was some fun moments there. But I love that Casca. They'll always have a special place in my heart.
agreed. I mean, and their jackets are absolutely fire.
Oh, fire! The amount of Halloween costumes I've seen of people dressed as Akatsuki members, fire.
But yeah, dude, do you want to talk about anything else? Or are you ready to wrap this up?
This is our longest one. We're hour 30 basically. So no, I think we're done here. I enjoyed talking Naruto tonight. This was a fun time. And I cannot wait. What is I picked Naruto this week. What are we talking about next week, Josh?
Man, I honestly I don't really know off the top of my head. Maybe I have a couple animes in mind. Maybe either like My Hero Academia or maybe even Bleach. We can get into maybe like Espada rankings or maybe um
We can. All right. You know what? We talked about One Piece and Naruto. So let's do Bleach, and then we can do My Hero.
I like
So
it.
all right, we can like rank the captains of or something or a spot. We'll figure it out. But yeah. But all right, everyone watching or listening on Spotify, this is the end of episode 3 of the Anime Club. Noah unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, but I'm sure we'll probably have him next week. And we're probably going to have some new guests in the future. But thank you, everyone who's been listening. You know, I've been getting messages on Twitter and comments on YouTube and everything, of people enjoying the podcast, and we're very thankful for you guys. You know, just checking us out and listening to us. So, like usual, please like, comment, subscribe, listen, 5 stars, and wherever you're listening or watching. So just continue to support. We appreciate it. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter on the new pages that we have too. Josh, what's the ad of it?
Yeah, so it's at the Anime Club. I know on Instagram it's at the Anime Club 21, and on Twitter it's at the Anime Club 3. I had to add a number to it because the Anime Club was taken. So find that, you'll be good to go.
All right, Josh, where can people find you? What you up to this week?
Yep. So I actually, for sports fans, I'm actually live streaming the Sixers Jazz game tomorrow night at 7 at twitch.tv. All you gotta do is search swoop underscore RD underscore on Twitch. I do that, and I also do podcasts on there as well. You can also follow me on social media, Instagram, Twitter. My @ is right there for you guys. And also just search Swoop Radio, and everything will pop right up. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. Tune in. So it's going to be a fun one tomorrow.
All right, and you can follow me just like Josh. The ad is right here. 8 Ball Bangers, literally with an 8 and then Ball Bangers. You know, we are, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, looking for new podcasters. So if you check out my Twitter, look at the pinned post, you'll see the interest form closing it this Friday. Didn't expect to get as many you know, submissions as I've been getting. So really get those in if you're interested. We're going to be having a lot of new faces over here, and we're very excited to start interviewing and everything. So check us out. Tomorrow, if you're listening to, or actually no, today, because we're going to move to day shows soon. We're still doing late night recordings, but when we get the hang of this, what we're going to do is during the day. But today, we will be talking with Abby and Geneva about Temptation Island, episode 3. So look out for that. Possibly, if the episode isn't boring on Friday, we will talk Floor Bama Shore with Sasha and Abby, and then meet us back with Lance and Sabrina on Monday for the Total Drama podcast. And then next week, I don't know what day yet, but we will be starting coverage on Big Brother Canada, which also starts today. But we'll have a whole brand new team of people that you guys get to meet, and it will be very fun and exciting. So just keep a lookout for that. But until then, have a good night, or if you're watching this later, have a good morning. This has been the Anime Club, episode 3. We will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.